Welcome to the March Home. I'm laughing a little bit here. I've got a great crew. I've got my beautiful wife, Amy, my good buddy, Bob Sebastian, who runs the Hooah Foundation. This is actually our second little run at this one episode because Hero was improperly cleaning himself. Dogs need showers too. So welcome to the March Home. Bob Sebastian, good friend. You were an Army Ranger, and now you run Hooah Foundation. What is the Hooah Foundation?
Well, we started with just a small group, 6 of us, and the initial mission was to send care packages overseas to Afghanistan.
Right.
Thought we would focus on Rangers, but we do send to all branches. And there was always a little piece of me every time we'd get together and talk that I wanted to help with veteran suicide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you started out in the world of sending packages overseas to Afghanistan, to fellow Rangers, and you guys started out in Minnesota, correct?
correct.
So that was your first chapter. I've gotten to go up there. They've got Minnesota. Why is there so many Rangers in Minnesota?
I have no idea.
But there is.
There are a lot, yes.
There is. We've gone up there
big
for
population.
what was it? Save the Brave.
Bands for the
Bands,
Brave.
Bands
for the Brave. That's
yeah.
what it was. Bands for the Brave. And then we've gone up there for the Ben Kopp ride, memorial
Yep.
ride. Ben Kopp, if you haven't heard of him, awesome guy. Jill Stevenson, throwing your name out there, Army Ranger mom from the Minnesota area as well. So you started out there sending care packages, and now you work with the Veterans Alternative as one of your mechanisms to support warriors. You do
Yes.
that through the Victory 22 program. So that was your desire to end veteran suicide. Can you tell us a little bit about that program and what you do to help warriors out?
Sure, and just to give you a brief history, just how I thought, my mentality was suicide was a weakness. And I mean, I was completely wrong, but that's what I thought. Then I received a call one night from somebody I respect very much, and he told me about an Army Ranger that just attempted suicide.
wow.
What am I going to do about it? And in my mind, I'm thinking, Army Rangers are not weak. How could this person be driven to that?
To that
Yeah.
point.
And it really hit home. Now you've got this massive problem, and now it's just not something we're talking about. I got somebody, what are you going to do about it? And reached out to Dr. Diego Hernandez.
Yes.
We have a mutual
Yep.
friend. At this point, I wasn't even sure if that's what he did. And I sent him an email, and I just said, this stuff has to stop. What
Right.
can we do? And we sent that Army Ranger down here to Tampa to see him. And he gets back, and I get a call from the person that picked him up from the airport, or
Right.
took him to the airport and picked him up. And he said, what did you do to him? And I got nervous initially. And
Right.
he said, I've known this guy for years, and he leaves for a week, and he's in a better place than I've ever known him to be.
Wow.
So I got to
Yeah.
tell you, so what the therapy that he did, he came down, he saw Dr. Diego, who was one of the therapists of accelerated resolution therapy, the main modality we use at the Veterans Alternative.
Yes, and so from that point, we felt like we had a tool to move. He introduced you and I, and we got the ball rolling, and we just want to keep it going. That is our Victory for 22
That's awesome.
program. Initially, our goal, 22 veterans a day, we wanted to eliminate one day of suicide
Right.
by
Yeah.
helping 22 vets. And to date, directly sending people down to you, I think we're 60, 65.
Wow.
So
That
this
many.
And-
this is what he means by sending them down. The Veterans Alternative does 3 retreats a month that are 5 days long. We cover the hotels, we cover the meals, all the services provided at the center.
But
we need to
Hooah.
get the guys here
Yeah.
that are from out of state. And Hooah is the one that covers and supports the travel arrangements for so far 60 some odd people. And we've only been doing the retreats for a year and a half. That's a huge number. That's a good percentage of the folks that we've served. That's
It
pretty
is,
amazing.
because what are we at? 43? What number are we at for retreats?
For retreats.
For
We just
retreats.
finished our 43rd retreat.
43rd retreat,
Yeah, we
and
just
a
finished our
good
43rd
portion of
retreat.
those folks.
Yeah, and the other thing we've been doing kind of indirectly, one of the warriors we sent down to see you, after he returned home, the therapist that had been seeing him calls me up and says, I've been seeing this guy for a couple years. He leaves for a week, he comes back. He's in a much better place than I could get him. What did you do? This
Right.
is the second time that happened. Talked to him. I don't know if you've met Dr. Lang.
Yep.
Yes, we
have
did.
met Dr. Lang.
Dr. Wade.
And-
Or
Lang.
Dr. Wade Lang, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he got trained in ART,
Yes.
and he's kind of going through the process really fast to get all of his training in.
He's now training people in Minnesota.
That is
That
awesome.
is awesome, because basically he saw what happened to one of his own clients that he had tried working with for so long, just their experience with ART, and he's like, hey, I've got to be a part of that and spread it.
I
Now
tell
he's
you what,
training
our
others.
international training and research is loving this episode. We're talking
Yeah.
about accelerated resolution therapy like crazy. A huge shout out to it. It's an amazing therapy.
It is.
But you guys do more than just the Victory 22. You actually have chapters you've started.
How
Yes.
many different chapters do you have?
Currently have 7.
Okay.
Where are they at?
One Minnesota.
Yep.
Right.
Then we've got Georgia, Wisconsin, Kansas, Michigan, and Texas.
Wow.
And
So-
we're all 100% volunteer organization. And we have most of the people are veterans, or like my wife, Rocky Adi, he's president of the Minnesota chapter. His
Right.
wife is also involved. So it's interesting to me that the people that have already, in a sense, you know, the saying, wrote a blank check to the United States of America.
Right.
They want to give back, continue to give back.
That's
It's
awesome
that
to
selfless
see.
service.
We see it at the Veterans Alternative. A lot of our local veterans volunteer for us. It's the same kind of thing. Everyone wants to keep giving back. Veterans helping other veterans.
Yeah, it's that selfless service. So you served back during the Civil War as a were the Rangers back then? No, when did
Yes, they were.
it's a historic group. So what's your history? When did you serve in Ranger Regiment?
Well, I actually went in 1983,
Oh wow.
and to give you a little bit about that, I went through basic training, advanced individual training, and airborne school, all in Fort Benning, Georgia. And then at that time, you had to go through Ranger Indoctrination Program,
Yep.
which is now RASP, Ranger Assessment. And that was out, at the time I went in, there was a 1st Ranger Battalion in Georgia and 2nd out in Fort Lewis, Washington. And they actually held RIP
Yep.
out at the respective bases. So went out, completed RIP.
How was, out of curiosity, I got to ask this. How was RIP for you? If you remember back then when you were going through it.
You know, it was probably one of the most difficult things I've done in my life, but I was driven to get it done.
What is RIP? Did I miss something? I don't know what RIP
It's like
is.
a Ranger, it's like a pre-Ranger testing. They have obstacle courses and training and so forth.
Is it like
Oh,
your Q course?
It would
It's more difficult.
Of course
no,
it
the
is.
Q course is 1.5 years to 3 years. It's
Oh,
a long-
okay.
But it's like it's like an assessment phase almost.
Like a short,
Yeah, it's-
intensive.
It's very physical, but the reason why I bring that up is because the very first thing I did when I showed up to my unit in the 82nd Airborne Division as a print photojournalist is I went out to the RIP site for Fort Bragg, and they were filming an Army of One commercial. So that was my whole entire interaction with ever coming close to going to RIP, was going out there for a commercial.
Oh, wow.
Nothing else. I chose not to go through the suck of Ranger School, which is, it does suck, right?
Oh yeah, it was, we started, I think 47 people started and 17 graduated.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's grueling. There's 3 phases, mountain,
Well, that's Ranger School.
Ranger School.
I was talking about
Yep.
RIP.
That's just the RIP portion of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, what RIP was they're assessing you, but it's the people that are in the battalion to see if you can really
Yeah.
put up with it.
Right.
How long did you stay inside? How long did you stay inside the Army?
Well, only just under 3 years.
Okay.
So, but back to RIP, when we graduated, they said graduated on a Friday, and then we had pagers. We didn't have cell phones.
Right.
And the 2nd Ranger Battalion was on alert, so they issued us a pager, and the first sergeant said, when you go home, you know, take the weekend off, but you can't go more than, I think it was 2 hours away from the base. And he says, but carry this pager, because 2nd Battalion is on alert, and you guys are members of the 2nd Battalion, but come back on Monday, and we'll take you over to the barracks and get you assigned to platoon and everything. Well, I'm sitting at home on Sunday, pager goes off.
Oh.
So I go back to the RIP barracks, and they put us on a bus or truck and took us over there. It was the alert for the Grenada invasion.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That was my first day in the Ranger Battalion.
Oh, my goodness.
And talk about standing at parade rest for hours while they're running around. So I got a real quick introduction to the Rangers.
Wow.
I guess so. Timing, huh?
Yes.
Jeez.
So then we.
Did you end up going through Ranger School? Did you go to Grenada? How did that work?
I ended up not going to Grenada. I went to
Yep.
the staging area. And then, you know, you usually, excuse me, after about a year, year and a half, back then they would then send you to pre-Ranger. And then you go to pre-Ranger and then on to Ranger School. So I'd been in the battalion about a year and a half, a little less, and we were out in the field training, and I went to stand up and my leg would not straighten out. Did a night jump, got beat up a couple nights before, but everything was working fine, and I just went and straightened out and finished the training. And that they had said, as soon as we get done with this training, we're going to send you to pre-Ranger.
Yeah.
And then this happens, and I go in, see the doctor, and said, I don't know what's wrong, but fix it, because I want to get to Ranger School.
Sure.
So you had this whole entire career in your life. You had 3 years inside the Army where you were a Ranger, and that's what you were doing. And then you run a successful business, which we never even talked about. We don't have time to talk about this segment. But now you're serving with your brothers again,
Yes,
and you're giving back through the Hooah Foundation.
yes.
That's absolutely amazing. I got to say, I wish the segments were longer, but you know what? It's been an honor to have you on the show, Bob. Learned a little bit about the Hooah Foundation, what they do.
How can they reach you if they wanted to volunteer, someone who's local to a chapter, or donate?
Go to our website, hooahinc.org. It has,
Hooah, that's HOOAH.org. Hooah.
yes.
And Bob, the great and wonderful founder, the man behind the curtain of Hooah Foundation, and quite honestly, if you are engaging with him in some way, chances are you're going to talk with this man here. Thank you guys for staying for this segment. Next, we've got a very special guest. Who do we have next?
I believe it's going to be Wade from
Heartstrings for Heroes, another
yeah.
nonprofit that's helping warriors. I had to think of who it was. You're going to enjoy this segment. We'll see you in the next segment.
Hey there, it's Andrew Campanella with National School Choice Week. And even though I run National School Choice Week, I'm also a resident of Florida. And I'm excited to tell you about a great event being planned by folks here in Florida, and in particular in Pasco County. It's called Celebrate Youth, and it's taking place January 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pasco County Safety Town. It's a community-based School Choice Week event, and it will feature rock climbing, a petting zoo, a bouncy house, food vendors, and free family fun for so many people, thousands of people. I have the opportunity to see thousands of different events planned all across the country during School Choice Week, and I can tell you that this event on January 27th will really put Florida in a positive light. This state is already doing so much to provide effective education options for kids, and events like this that invite everybody from the community to come and visit are ways that families can learn more about the school choice options available for their kids. So if you can, sponsor this event. By sponsoring this event, you will help get even more families out to it so they can learn about the options available to them and their kids have more educational opportunities. So January 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., celebrate youth at the Pasco County Safety Town. Thanks so much.
Welcome to the March Home, the last show of, and Hero doesn't even want to be a part of it, 2017. We started this whole gig back in May. What was it, May 8th, our very first show of the March Home?
Yes.
And now we've gone through a whole entire year. So this is kind of a year in a review. You can hear Hero slopping water maybe in the background. That dog, he does what he wants nowadays. He's absolutely crazy.
Well, he's off leash, so he knows he can do whatever.
Off leash. He's just
without
been.
a vest.
You know what? We've had Patriot Service Dogs on the show a few times this
Yes.
year. Maybe we just need to talk to them about getting some act right in Hero. I don't know what's going on with that dog. So, 2017, what a great year. What a crazy year it's been.
It has been. We've done a lot of things.
We've done a lot of things. We started out really hey, Hero, come over here, buddy. Come on stage with us.
Come on.
Come show your drooling face.
Ew.
See, now you get to see the drooling water on him. Hero, settle down. You know what he's been doing lately? He's been getting into all the mud he can find. It's like wintertime, he wants to be in mud.
He's been enjoying himself.
He has. So we started out the year really with legislation
Yes.
for the state side. We've
Right.
been working with Danny Burgess, which he will be on the show next episode. And just so you guys, all the viewers who are hoping and holding their breath for Wade from Heartstrings for
Yes.
Heroes, he ghosted us. We don't know where you are, but Wade and Heartstrings for Heroes, they do a great job with a lot of things that they do.
Yes.
So this episode, we're more talking about what we've done throughout the year. And
Yes.
we spent a lot of time in Tallahassee.
We went to Tallahassee, started out kind of in April, I think, pushing
Yep.
for some alternative treatments.
Alternative treatment options for veterans.
Yes.
And here is a quick recap of last year. It didn't pass.
Yeah, right.
The alternative treatment options. That was HB 55 in 2017. But it's up again in
Yes.
2018. The legislation year for state starts in January.
And we'll be back in January.
So it's HB 303, Alternative Treatment Options for Veterans, with $2 million worth of appropriations associated with that bill.
That's awesome.
That can be huge for the state of Florida.
Yeah.
That's service dogs like Hero, Accelerated Resolution Therapy, like the Veterans Alternative does, outdoor recreational sports,
equine therapy, all kinds of
hyperbaric
things.
oxygen treatment, some really great services that folks utilize.
Yeah.
So that's HB 303. They have HB 333.
Okay, what's that one about?
That one is for guys from the special operations community. We're inviting you
yeah.
all to move to Florida and become part of our law enforcement. Basically, it forgoes the need for you to go through the academies. You do on-the-job training. So you got to figure these guys from the special operations community, they do 2-3 years of training.
They already have a lot of specialized training, and now they're actually getting credit for that and not having to redo some of that
Just
training.
do
right?
all these other things. Like they know how to shoot, they know how to move, they
Right.
know how to communicate, they know all those things. Now let's learn all of the processes and
Policies
procedures
and things,
that each
yeah.
one of these. And so that's a really good
That's
bill.
going to be awesome.
And then the last one is HB 179, which I'm really excited about. HB 179 is the expansion of 211
Okay.
for veterans. So 211, you dial 211. It can be 3 o'clock in the morning. It can be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You call 211 and you select an option that you're a veteran. You will be connected with somebody who can talk to you right then about what you're going through.
Oh, wow.
So that's a great suicide prevention. For
That
the state
is
of-
a
yeah.
huge prevention
Huge,
piece.
huge,
That's going to
huge.
be awesome. We definitely need to push for that one as well.
So we had some other big things. I got to tell you a personal story. The beginning of the year, we found out that one of my
yeah.
teammates, Calvin Harrison, I love the guy. Here's a picture of him. Unbelievably great guy. Calvin passed away 2010, September 29th, from wounds sustained in Afghanistan. He was killed in action. And last year, or this year, early 2017, I got a call, said, hey, we found the Silver Star. Did Calvin's family ever receive it?
Right.
I've been mentoring his daughters for a long time. They never received it. And this year at Red Empire Week with 7th Special Forces Group at
Yes.
Eglin Air Force Base, the girls were presented Calvin's Silver Star.
In a ceremony.
Yes. And Rudy Giuliani came out there.
It was awesome.
It was an amazing, amazing little thing. That was a fun event.
We had like a military ball the girls
Yep.
got to take part in. That was really beautiful.
It was a great ceremony, and it's great when you get to honor those Gold Star families.
Yeah.
We had Jill Stevenson on the show several times. She's an
Yes.
amazing woman, another Gold Star mom. Her book, the book that was written about her son Ben Kopp,
Yes.
The Heart of a Ranger, excellent book. Get that book if you want to read something in 2018 that's absolutely epic. We also had some personal great things
Yes.
go on for the Veterans Alternative from the Claymore shoot.
We did a Claymore shoot. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
That was in April.
And then we also
Definitely.
had the Freedom Fest, which was an amazing event, first year event, a fun event this year. My Network One, this group that does all this filming and makes, Amy look, I already look good, but does a great job with helping us out with that. They were out
They
there
covered
filming.
everything.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we actually had some monumental retreats
Yes,
in
we did.
2017.
The biggest, in my opinion, because of course I was part of it, was the Steel Mags retreat we did in July
Yeah.
at St. Leo University. That was a
We
lot of
had
fun.
19 Green Beret spouses partnered with the Green Beret Foundation at St. Leo University.
Yes, that was awesome.
We had them all come out, and we provided a retreat with them. It was a really good time.
The girls had a great time.
Yeah. The ladies. That's
The
ladies. That's what I
ladies.
keep on getting corrected on. You can't call everybody girls.
Oh, well, I can because
yeah.
I'm a girl.
Well, okay.
But
There
we
you-
also had another huge retreat in October.
Oh, check out this 1 minute segment. We're in Waterville, Ireland. This is the third Soft Ireland retreat we've done. We got here Sunday morning, and by Sunday afternoon, we were already playing golf, getting out to the links. We got a couple of pros, unbelievable, and these guys have been teaching us so much on the golf course. This is one of the most beautiful golf courses I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievably gorgeous. Every single backdrop is gorgeous, and these guys are learning to play right here on this course, including myself. Amazing to have the talent that we've had here. We've gone out on the horses. We rode them right on the coast. Our ARC clinicians, Accelerated Resolution Therapy clinicians, they've been focused on making sure that these guys, each one of them, get the services they need to help them overcome some of the difficulties coming home. It's been a healing process for them to really come here and be embraced by so many inside this country. So that retreat was absolutely amazing. I actually completely loved every single portion of learning golf from some amazing, amazing folks out there.
I was just very jealous because I didn't get to go to Ireland. So.
One of the guys, he went up to one of the Green Berets that was on that retreat. It was a special operations retreat, as you heard. He went up to one of the guys and he said, Laddie, do me a favor. Go home. Go home tonight and get on your knees and pray. Pray that you can play golf. He didn't say that to me, but he said it to one of the guys. We played golf at
Seven Springs?
Seven Springs
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And if he watched me play my golf that day,
He would have
would've
said
said the
that to
same
you.
thing. It was a horrible, horrible day. But that's the greatness about golf, because on the
Yeah.
18th hole, I had a 20-foot putt.
That was awesome.
And it
You
was
finished up well.
It was left to right, about a 4-foot curb over. It was fun. Golf and veterans, it goes. It really goes. It's a
Yeah.
fun sport. It's an easy sport to get out there.
And you're going to have days like that. So.
You're always going to have days like
Yeah.
that. We got to also, on Tuesday, actually on Monday, there was a veteran named Larry Long, Larry L. Long. He passed away. He was a Vietnam veteran, 75 years old, and he was one of the guys who would drop the Agent Orange.
Okay.
And After he passed, he has his house, he has a van. We've been extremely thankful for Moss Nissan and
The troop carrier.
the troop carrier.
Yeah.
That right there, the troop carrier is actually Moss Nissan's donation for that is ending at the end of this year. And on Tuesday, we actually had a donation from Larry Long and
That's awesome.
Larry Long and his family for a house and a van to the Veterans Alternative. So absolutely amazing
gonna
to
be
get
so
those types
useful.
of things,
Yeah.
to help out with the process that we're doing here. We're looking forward to 2018.
Yes.
We've got these bills that are passing. We're opening up, the Veterans Alternatives opening up its new center in North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's going to be epic.
And we're expanding our services locally.
Yes.
So it's going to be a fun 2018. The March Home is going to continue on. It's going to be a great show. We're going to change and adapt some things to it. We're looking forward to that, working with My Network One. And we will definitely broadcast from the various places we go to, from Washington,
Travel,
D.C. to Tallahassee
conferences,
to
places we go, yeah.
Sacramento, California,
Oh, yeah.
and El Paso, Texas. So we're going to try and take the show on the road a lot more in 2018. I think that'll add a lot of fun and adventure to it.
Yes, definitely. I agree.
Guys, it's been a wonderful 2017. We thank you so much for being on the show. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year, and we will see you after the New Year. Our next episode is going to be a fun one. We've got Danny Burgess and Gus Bilirakis on to talk about legislation. One of the big pieces that we want to talk about is transition. So stay tuned for that next episode. It's going to be a gem. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Signing off from the March Home from 2017.